Training camp's here. Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining us here on another live stream here on GG Sports Podcast. Training camp is in swing. Rookies reported yesterday. I believe vets report tomorrow. First practice open to the public is Saturday. This is it, man. I mean, for a lot of the players, for the beat writers, partially for us, summer's kind of over. Now it's back into the full swing of football conversation. Exciting times, man. This is probably one of the most intriguing seasons we've had in quite a while with JJ McCarthy. Basically, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's the starter. It hasn't been officially said yet, but with the way things are going, like we all know, he's the starter. What they did this offseason, a lot of the signings, you feel really good about this team as long as McCarthy plays well. So it's going to be, it's a training camp where there's going to be a ton of things to watch. I mean, mainly centered around the quarterback, but even outside of the quarterback, there's going to be other positions to watch as well. We'll talk about those in a little bit here, but full swing, man. It's football time.
Yeah, dude. No, man, I'm pumped. And it's funny. I was just thinking, like, you were talking about how it's another season that we're just excited to be in. Honestly, it is funny because I feel like I've said this almost every year since we've been doing this podcast, that it's like the most excited I've been for a season in a lot, probably ever. But I think we've had just such interest. Like the first year, I forget. Maybe we didn't say that the very first year. That was Zimmer's last year. But then we get Kevin O'Connell, and then we're excited about everything with Kevin O'Connell and what he's going to be able to do with Kirk Cousins and everything. And then obviously, eventually, you lose Kirk Cousins, and just it's kind of funny every year. It does feel like we're just really excited. I said the same thing last year because you got your franchise quarterback, hopefully JJ McCarthy, and then you even had Sam Darnold. So JJ McCarthy injury was a huge buzzkill, I would say, going into last season. But
Darnold,
and then Darnold, he held it down for sure, easily, like way better than anyone could have imagined. And now JJ McCarthy, obviously, healthy, ready to go. I mean, every other post, and I know I saw T-Bass in here right away, which is always funny. With JJ McCarthy, who is that? I never heard about this kid on the Vikings, and that's just. It's at the point now where, he's just everywhere, and not just it for the Vikings, like just being talked about on ESPN, just kind of everywhere. Like there's just this fascination with the unknown of JJ McCarthy, I think, and then how talented this Vikings team is in general. So, I'm excited for this season, and obviously I know it was cool. I don't know how it works. I know rookies and quarterbacks showed up yesterday, but I'm like, do quarterbacks have to show up? I didn't see every quarter. Yep. Oh, they do have to.
Yep. Rookies and quarterbacks show up the first day.
Yep.
You can't really, because you have enough rookies to at least maybe go through meetings and walkthroughs and stuff, and you really can't do much without a quarterback there. So
facts. But before we keep going in here, let me do some shout outs here. We had Jim in here right away with some hate here. Forget it. Vikings one and done in playoffs. We did this with Culpepper and Christian Ponder.
Oh, okay, here's the thing that, like, and on our JJ McCarthy video, like, you read through all the comments, and I understand there's a lot of people out there, more seasoned Vikings fans than we are, who've been through a lot of shit, right? But it's just the constant comment is just the same thing. Oh, JJ McCarthy won a Super Bowl in 4 years after he leaves, or we've seen this before, we tried, it never works. Like, it's just you can't have that mindset. Like, it's a new day. I know people have seen this before, but again, it's a new day. Things are looking good. We just got to get rid of that. We've seen this all. I hope I'm wrong, but we've seen this before mindset.
Yeah.
It's everywhere right now. People just don't want to be excited about this quarterback that we have, and for everything you're hearing, it sounds like things are looking good so far. So I don't know. It's the mindset is just, and I get it, I understand it, but the mindset's frustrating. And you just see those comments everywhere, and all these people think, I'm the first one to say this. No, you're not. You're like the 20th person to say this just since yesterday. Like, some excitement. Have some goddamn excitement around here. Sorry, pardon my French, but
especially right now, pardon my French. Like I've never said anything bad on here. Speaking of that, like we talked about, like maybe being a pessimist is the problem, because the Viking fans are always talking about how this oh, we'll never actually get to the we'll never actually do maybe that's the problem. Like, we need to shift that. We need the more optimistic fans to say that we're going to do it. Like, maybe
what do they call that? Like self-fulfilling prophecy. If you say it's going to go bad, it's going to go bad.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what we're going with now. So yeah, we're going to say Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl, JJ McCarthy, Super Bowl. Just like the video said. But yeah, anyways, keep on going here. Nick Riley, what's going on, my dude? What up, chat? Let's go. Bleeding Purple. I see you, my guy. Bob Sweet. Night. Welcome in. By the way, Bob, I sent your cards out last week or whatever, and then I thought you mentioned something about not getting your Will Reichard. I wasn't sure. I just sent you another one of those. But by the way, speaking of that, you guys can still put hashtag Skol in the comments. Y'all can still like the video. We would appreciate it a lot. But I am not doing a giveaway today because I move at the end of the week, and it's just going to be a pain in the ass to try to get mail out and stuff like that. So no giveaway today. But I do want to say a couple big things for us. One, our JJ McCarthy video that Casey was just talking about hit 50,000 just right before getting on here, hit 50,000 views, which is massive for us. And I didn't even know we'd make a video that could even break 50,000 views. So that's crazy. But another thing about that, it has given us some more subscribers. We're getting close to 2,000 subscribers, which we're really pumped about. And we are planning, I'm going to figure out exactly once I get to Colorado, figure it out, but we are definitely going to give away something special and have a 2K subscriber party, giveaway, stream, whatever. So once we hit 2,000 subscribers, we will definitely be giving some extra stuff away for that. So yeah,
you know what we should do when you come up here for Skol Festival? We should make a calendar. Not gonna tell you what's in the calendar, but we should do it. That'd be awesome. I'm kidding. That'd be disturbing because you know what goes into those calendars that people make. No one wants to see any of that.
I beg to differ. What up, Two-Tone Skol Mafia, my dude? Hey, Big Raylan. It's been a minute. I mean, we're in the off season. We're back into it. Everybody's coming back. That's what happens. We're gonna get rolling here. Let's go, my man. I'm ready for some damn football. Hall of Fame game right now around the court. Yeah, that is actually crazy. It's crazy how fast once training camp comes up, how quick the Hall of Fame game comes around. Hey, we got my dude, Vocal Vike in the building. What's going on? RAP. Let's go. Yeah, I don't remember.
The Lions and somebody else. We do got to stop for 1 second. I know you're going through some comments. We do got to shout out 1999 from our boy Skol Mafia.
Mafia, my dude.
I love it. You know what? Maybe hashtag Skol from here on out for giveaways. Hashtag 2K. We'll go with that.
Hashtag 2K. Yeah. Get those definitely.
Yeah.
2K. Yeah, we're going. And hashtag Skol Fest and the hashtag Skol Fests. And so we got all these hashtags going on right now. But yeah,
anyway, we appreciate the dono, Skol Mafia. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. FT Maddie in the building. What's going on, dude? Welcome in. Who am I missing in here? Hey, Don Kiddick. This is our year. Let's go. Aaron Hendricks from Facebook. What's going on, Aaron? It's been a minute, my dude. They will be quiet. It's quiet. Oh yeah. We have to love our team even when we are ass. Yeah, facts. That's what you're supposed to do. Every year is another year to win a Super Bowl. You know, they have 70 more days. Facts. Let's go. Getting the hashtag Skols in. No giveaway. I'm out of here. Big Raylan. Everyone needs to understand that we need to get over ourselves before we can be any other quality. Yeah, facts. McCarthy's already to go. Hell yeah, GG. That video say, oh, dude, appreciate you, Skol Mafia. Big time. George Blunt in the building. Congratulations, gentlemen, on the road. Gotta go. Hey, no worries. Pop back in later. Dylan Dotson, the greatest guys. Skol. Dylan, you're Colorado, right? I know you're the Nugget. I know you're Nuggets fan, but hey, hashtag Skol Fest. That's what I'm talking about. Lions getting hit. Yeah, they are bad. Yeah. Sucks to suck. I mean, anyways, any other initial thoughts? Training camp. We can go into some more JJ McCarthy stuff. I know
T-Bass wants to hear some of that. We got it for him.
Come on, I want to hear about JJ McCarthy. I don't hear enough about the kid. I don't even know anything about him. Oh yeah, we'll let you know.
You shall receive.
Speaking of that, let's bring it in right now. JJ McCarthy, the future GOAT of the NFL, future 7-time. How many rings?
8 times. You got to be Tom Brady.
8 time NFL Super Bowl champion in the future. Jonathan James McCarthy. Jonathan James McCarthy. Let's go. Casey, what is your thoughts going in now? Obviously, there's just this buzz that's been going on with JJ McCarthy, but you can feel it rising. It's coming in hot as we get closer. We're seeing all the videos of him actually in your backyard.
Yeah, literally walking distance from here. There's a bunch of players throwing the ball around the other day.
Where JJ McCarthy was practicing with Justin Jefferson. Obviously, we did see Adam Thielen's there as well. He wants to be a Viking against the best.
I don't think.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yep, Justin. That was the big thing. Justin Jefferson, Addison, and T.J. Hawkinson. All three of them were there, and people were saying how you don't see that.
Roseburg was there. I think Drake Lindsay of the Gophers was there.
Yeah. And then, of course, you had C.J. Ham. You had Jordan Mason was there. Oliver was there. Like, everybody got together right before training. And you never see that. Even that's what's been really interesting. Like, Justin Jefferson, like, he goes off and kind of does his own thing. And he's been here every step of the way this offseason and in the mini camps and OTAs. And now even just the little going to the high school field and throw the ball around type of thing. But yeah, it's definitely creating that extra hype going into this training camp. And JJ McCarthy, of course, showing up yesterday, and it's time to get this shit rolling, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess what more can we say?
What's going on, Joe?
What's going on? What more can we say that hasn't already been said? I mean, obviously the most buzz that this team has had in a long time, probably honestly since the first couple seasons of Kirk Cousins. I guess last year too before the injury. But yeah, I mean, not really much more. I mean, what can we say that we haven't really said already? Handpicked, 10th overall pick, highest drafted quarterback in franchise history. Looks solid in that one preseason game. Now you hear a lot about, I mean, I know that there was a story on ESPN this last week about how he spent last season still learning. I mean, obviously, we know sitting in the meetings with Kevin O'Connell and the quarterbacks. I mean, obviously, of course, he's going to do that. We heard about the VR headset and kind of going through it that way. I know Josh McCown said he was giving him some assignments every week. So it's just like, I know the ESPN has an in-depth story about it, but I guess and that's the big thing with him, taking advantage of the time where he couldn't be on the field to get the mental, and I know people make fun of the whole mental reps thing, but he got a lot of that, the mental side of the game. We saw him at a couple of those last games with the headset on, listening to the play calls, going through it himself. So it's just like he prepped himself as much as he could in a bad situation of, the first time with the injury. And I know in our video, we even had the clip from Harrison Phillips where the first thing he did, he said, where they kind of wanted to just get away from football for a bit, just kind of cope with the injury, but he wanted to jump right in. Learn from, talk to the defensive guys, learn how he can be better, ask what they're seeing on film. So it's just, he did everything he could to get him to this moment. Now it does need to translate onto the field, sure. But as we've talked about all offseason, Kwesi did a great job surrounding him with the talent that's going to make that so much easier, to where it comes down to, can he play the game? And everything we're hearing, it seems like he's on the right track. And again, you need to see it on the field. I understand that. But everything leading up to this point, he's dealt with every bit of adversity, and you feel like he's going to come out better because of it. So I don't know. I'm excited for this one, man. I mean, we all are, obviously, but yeah, I mean, I think mentally he's going to be ready. Physically, health-wise, he is ready. Now it is just putting all the pieces together onto the field and making it work.
Yeah, and that's like a nice thing too, is that, like, when it comes to his injury, he had an injury that he didn't even realize happened. So there shouldn't be like that extra like psychological trauma, you wouldn't think, I guess, as far as like, I'm assuming if you were to tear an ACL on the field and felt it, it's going to be harder to, throw off that knee again or gain that confidence. Like, I don't think that's a part of his game that he was going to need is regaining that confidence without even realizing that injury happened. So hopefully the injury and the physical side of things is like completely irrelevant at this point. Obviously, he looks really healthy. It's really funny because I saw a tweet with people. There's a tweet or something going on with people saying that JJ McCarthy looks fat or that he's gained like a lot of weight or whatever, which is how, of course, all the Viking fans went in there and just like, you live in this world where everybody's saying that JJ McCarthy is way too skinny and he isn't going to be able to get up to his weight in time and things like that. And now they're calling him fat. But hey, we're literally seeing him out there working on video all the time. So like, I'm not worried about that or anything, but yeah, dude. I was a JJ, but seeing this kid's work ethic, I'm all in on. Hey, that's what we talking about, Big Raylan. That's what we talking about.
I mean, because I mean, when you can't play, that is one way to really endear yourself to a fan base and just have that proof that you're putting in all the work you can to get yourself ready to play football, right? Like he didn't just leave the facility when he was injured, or like there was always news of him just trying to get better as much as he could without actually being on the field. So it's just like, those are the things that fans want to hear about your future franchise quarterback, that they actually care about what they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. And it's obvious that he does that. I mean, and again, he could have taken that injury and it could have completely derailed his whole season, downward spiral, but it didn't. He, I'm sure he felt bad about it for the first couple of days, but then he just jumped up and started doing the best he could to keep himself involved and learn. So it's just, I don't know. It's what you want to. And again, like T-Bass always says, it's until he puts it onto the field, you're going to have that little bit of doubt of, can he do it? But when you kind of put yourself into that perspective of thinking, how is this season going to go? Everything up to this point, you need to be happy with, from what we've seen and heard, right? Again, it has to happen on the field, but he could have taken a lot of steps. You're just like, I don't know. But everything you're hearing, it just feels like he's going to be ready at the very least to get onto the field and start playing, right? So it's just, just he's doing and saying all the right things.
Yeah, and that's even besides the fact that he had a really good training camp last year and a really impressive preseason game. Like one preseason game, not a regular game, yeah. But it's been nothing but positive. The only negative was the fact that he got hurt and he's coming back from an injury, I guess. Otherwise, he's doing the right things, saying the right things. We've seen it on the field to some extent. It's not like this is his first training camp we're witnessing, or we haven't seen him in any gameplay at all. He came out and he looked really good. And especially the biggest thing, and I say this every single time because people do want to talk about deep ball accuracy and they want to talk about his arm, even though players, and like, it's funny, like players keep coming out and talking about how his arm's good. Everybody's coming out and saying his arm's good. But the big one there is during that preseason game is he showed he had deep ball accuracy. He showed he had all that. He showed like everything that you had questions about JJ McCarthy coming into the NFL. He showed in that one preseason game. So obviously you need to see more than that in a real game. But I mean, that's like still like, for me, that's definitely a big step forward in my confidence of what JJ McCarthy can be for this team.
Yeah. And I mean, and I think Josh McCown even said like, he has a big arm and sometimes he needs to take a little bit off. I know they said the touch passes were kind of where he needed a little bit of work. And obviously in the NFL, a touch pass is being able to drop it over, a linebacker into some space. So like, and if that's the worst part of all of it, is that the deep ball is good, the arm strength is good, he just needs to take a little bit off and work on touch. Like that's teachable stuff, right? And you feel like,
and you got Kevin O'Connell. So
you got Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown, had a long career being a backup quarterback who played pretty well in those times he did get to start. So I trust that they'll be able to develop all the rest of that stuff as we kind of go along here.
Plus he does have that. I mean, I don't know how significant it is, but there's definitely a relationship he has with Tom Brady to some extent. I know they've talked after he got drafted and things like that. So maybe you got a mentor there somewhere.
Maybe.
I know the Raiders, it sounded like the Raiders were definitely calling to see if we would have potentially traded him. So Tom Brady knows. He knows. Anyways, let's keep on rolling here. Obviously, we'll be talking about JJ McCarthy pretty much nonstop for hopefully the next 15, 20 years. So we got a long ways to go here. Let's talk some camp battles. What are the camp battles this year? There's not really a ton as there might usually be in a lot of years, right. But which ones are you looking forward to? Which are some like sneaky ones maybe people aren't really thinking about? Right. All that good stuff.
Wide receiver, well, now potentially wide receiver 2-3/4/5. Wide receiver for sure. Cornerbacks, and I don't even know if it's battles as much as just seeing some progress. So yeah, I'm going to go, if you're picking one from each side of the ball, I'm going wide receiver, and I'm probably going corner.
So like wide receiver 3.
I mean, and potentially wide receiver 2 for 2 to 1.
Oh, 2 to 3 games. Well, yeah. So that would be interesting. So that means wide receiver 3 and technically wide receiver 4
are really important.
Are important. Yeah. So that's a good question. So obviously we know we have Ty Felton, third round pick. Hey, let's go, Big Raylan. That's what I'm talking about. You better show up this year. Last year you didn't show up. You said you were going to. Now I'm holding you to it. But no, you got Ty Felton, third round pick. Obviously, the Vikings see a lot in him to pick him in the third round. We haven't heard much about him yet. He's going to be kind of that unknown guy that I'm the person that I would love to see him end up being better than the other ones, because you picked him in the third round. You picked him at that point because you want him to probably fill that wide receiver 3 role earlier than later. And then, of course, you have Jalen Nailor's back. People are saying, what are you laughing about?
Jalen Nailor in a contract year. You know.
Is that what you're holding up to say? All right, here goes the next 40 minutes.
No, if you want to see, you can go back and watch our wide receiver.
Yeah, you got Jalen Nailor in a contract year.
And we spent way too much time on that day. I don't really know why.
Jalen Nailor in a contract year, so he's probably going to go crazy and go make tens of millions of dollars somewhere. And then you got Rondale Moore, who before his last injury was looking really good. I was paying attention. I don't know if I had him on my fantasy team or what, but I was paying attention to him pretty close up until his last injury. And he was making some serious noise, and he's been we've seen him on the field, and you've seen videos of him working out and things like that. I do think he's definitely the dark horse, if you even want to call him that, because you could say he has probably the most talent, former second round pick, but the most talent coming in here and the most pedigree coming into this battle. He's just coming off of a whole season long injury. So that's going to be an interesting one. So I do think that's a dark horse, because if he's completely healthy, it would not be crazy to see him come in and just grab that wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2, if Jordan Addison gets suspended and all those kinds of things. So that's going to be the big one. And it's not just, like you said, it's not just for the wide receiver 3, but now the wide receiver 4 spot is pretty important here. But I guess, what do you think out of those 3? We've talked about it before, but now going back, what are you thinking of those 3? How do you say, if you're going to rank 1, 2, 3, how do you think this goes after training camp?
For some reason, I just have a feeling that Ty Felton is going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know why. I don't know if it's, I mean, I watched the video that Maryland put out about him, with the kind of his draft video. I don't know if it's the fact that, when we did our research and made our video on him, I just got kind of hyped up about it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's going to be, I think he's going to have a good year. And then, it's hard to say with Rondale Moore, because it all does depend on the health. Like, if he goes into camp perfectly healthy, like you said, I think he's one of those guys that people because we haven't heard a lot about him because of the injury. I think people do almost kind of forget that he's here. Mm-hmm. But if he's healthy, then I could easily see him, shocking everybody and kind of overtaking Felton and Nailor for that wide receiver 3 spot. But I don't know. And then Nailor, I just feel like we're going to see, just going to see the same Jalen Nailor that we've seen. And I know I was talking about a big game of a contract here. He might play better. I don't know. I do just think that we're just going to see the same guy where he has some of those big plays, maybe a couple drops. But again, I just don't think he does anything spectacular enough to where they decide to keep him around. So I'm going to say Felton, and then I'm going to say Rondale Moore. And then, then I'll probably go with Jalen Nailor. Just because, again, and it's recency bias. You drafted a guy like Felton in the third round, so obviously there's things there. I think he's going to have something to say about the kick/punt returner spot. I think he's going to get some work there as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling good about Ty Felton. I don't know why. It's just something.
I love that, because I'd have to say I'm not feeling as good, and mostly going back, and I know, and speaking of this actually, because Big Raylan brought it up, I still worry about his 13% catch rate when challenged. He's got such short arms and small hands, which he does. He has good height and things like that. Obviously, like when I went back and watched him after we drafted him, it was like not even a question. When that ball's in his hands, he looks like the fastest guy on the field, and I think especially like he seems special that way. But from like just a straight wide receiver standpoint, it didn't pop off the screen for me. And then obviously this is a guy that, you know, a lot of people would have said you were overdrafted. There's other guys there that people would have more likely saw got drafted prior to Ty Felton. And that's the biggest one for me, is that, I guess, I don't know, that sketches me out a little bit. But the positive is, obviously, and I've said this before, as a 3rd round pick, you know that the Vikings liked him a lot. You know, McCardle likes him a lot. That's a big one, because McCardle went to Maryland. He coached at Maryland. I don't know if he went to Maryland, but he coached at Maryland. And then he coached, or he trained them or whatever, coached them for the Senior Bowl. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there's not even a question. Your wide receiver coach went over there, spent specific time with Ty Felton, liked him enough to come back to our front office and say, go get this guy as early as the 3rd round. And obviously I shouldn't take that for a grain of salt, because I don't know shit about what makes a good wide receiver compared to that guy. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for. But if I was just going to guess right now, I'm going to have to, I think if Rondale Moore is completely healthy and he's just the same old Rondale Moore, I would not be surprised if he takes the wide receiver 3. But for some reason, I feel like it's going to be a tight battle and they're just going to give it to Jalen Nailor. And I could be wrong here. And he's also the guy who's been here, stuff like that. So I'm going to go Jalen Nailor. I'm going to go Rondale Moore, and I'm going to say Ty Felton at least starts the season as behind those guys, but maybe not. Maybe we need to use them all. Ty Felton kind of has that gadget to him. Rondale Moore kind of has that gadget to him. So yeah, that's my prediction there. Offensive line, or not offensive line, but offense. Besides that, there's not really any battles. Like, you could maybe argue left guard, but I'm pretty sure it's Donovan Jackson's to not even lose. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just his straight up.
Yeah. And I think I saw, what's going on, Jen? I think, was it Dan earlier who said something about the offensive line depth? I'm not worried about the offensive line depth, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
No, I'm not at all.
I mean, the offensive line, you got your 5 starters, and behind that you have drafted guys who, and guys like Walter Rouse and Juergens, who they like enough to where their names are even being tossed out there as, Juergens not so much. Juergens was a guy that, he was going to be a backup center no matter what. But watching their draft video from last year, Kwesi was super excited to get him. Kevin O'Connell was excited to get him. Then at that left guard spot, you have a guy in Walter Rouse whose name was tossed out there as a potential option. You have Blake Brandel, who looked good in spots last offseason. So if he has to step in there, that's fine. Even with the Darrisaw injury, you have Tyler Skol at backup, who started a lot of games for Tampa last year and played solidly in those starts. And then you even have a guy like Blake Brandel, who was a swing tackle, could bump out to the left. Walter Rouse could play right or left tackle as well. So I'm not at all concerned about the offensive line depth. Like, I think it's solid. It's guys that they want to be here at all positions, who can play all positions. So that's one position. Like, I think they addressed that well enough. Again, Donovan Jackson, Will Fries, are they both technically still question marks? Yes. Jackson being a rookie, Will Fries coming off the injury, plus he is still kind of a younger guy as well. So I do think they are both still question marks, but I don't know. I still feel confident in the starters first off, and the depth at that position as well. Like, that is one position where I think they did a great job building that up.
Yeah, I think it's great. I would not say that at all. Even like with Donovan Jackson being like pretty much exactly what you said, Blake Brandel, like, you're talking about a guy that's probably a borderline starter in this league. He played really good when he had Christian Darrisaw next to him. Didn't look so good without him. Whatever. He's still like a borderline starter in this league. That's great for a backup. That feel like he's a backup. What more do you want? You want a starter to be your backup? You want all starters to be your backups? Because that's never going to happen. It's not. So if you want like all your backups to be potential starters, but you do got some of those guys. Like you said, you got those young guys. You got the Kansas, what's his name? Brown. I think
Logan Brown.
You got Logan Brown back there as well. And a lot of people are super hyped about him. And then Shule. And yeah, I don't know. You got to be, I feel great about the depth there. I think that if someone goes down our offensive line, we have someone there that can go in and probably do a well enough job, especially when you have this much talent around them. that they should, as long as everyone else is healthy on that line. So I feel good there.
I misunderstood Dan's point. He was saying that he was excited to watch the depth and kind of how they battle it out at camp. So I misunderstood. Yeah.
That's
100% fair. Because Logan Brown, I mean, that is a guy whose name's kind of brought up as could he be a potential successor to Brian O'Neill down the road in a couple of years. Time will tell with that. But yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't see you guys were talking about. So going into the tight ends, because that would be another one, is who's going to be tight end 3. So that is definitely another battle going on there. And someone, I know I did see Fant got released today or whatever. And that would be interesting with that Fant, Hawkinson.
Both first round picks in the same year.
Again. Yep. Same year, same team. And then they both come from Iowa. So
that'd
be really interesting if we did that, if there was no other way. But I have a hard time seeing that happening because he's going to have to come in here and understand he's going to be tight end 3 at this point. And I'm guessing he'd at least want to be tight end 2 somewhere because you paid Oliver. So if it comes down to the other tight ends that we have, this Bartholomew, as well as who's the
Urasek.
Yeah, Urasek. Between those two, I guess I don't really know. Like, I know a lot of people like Urasek, and I know he's supposed to be kind of like a big deal. This is a Georgia kid, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so. And then obviously went undrafted, and a lot of people would have probably rather him getting drafted instead of Bartholomew. But obviously we ended up drafting Bartholomew, so that's going to be an interesting one. But I guess the hope for that is maybe it'd be really nice if one of those guys ended up being some sort of gem.
For sure. Yeah. At a position where, like you said, depth was kind of a question coming into the season with, and it's going to be top heavy, like Hawkinson. I mean, again, I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Disappointing coming back from injury last year. Never really got that time to really connect with Darnold, obviously being off the field. So I think he's going to have a pretty good year this year. But
yeah. So the defensive side, you mentioned corner yeah. Because you have obviously Byron Murphy Jr. isn't going anywhere. Right. And then you have Isaiah Rodgers, who it sounds getting tons, and he's all over Twitter. Do you see he had the Nazareth JJ McCarthy high school jersey?
I did, yep.
Yeah. Which is funny. I would have no idea what that was about if we didn't make that video. And then at Nazareth, I don't even know, but I ain't gonna go into that because you
should watch the video if you haven't already. And if you have,
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, getting tons of hype. I'm super excited about him. I mean, he's PFF darling up to this point. He hasn't really got a fair number 1 cornerback spot. Took off a year because of gambling. So he didn't really take forcibly took off a year. And I think that's part of the reason he came back. And then, you're probably not just going to jump right into some sort of starting spot right away. But yeah, the hype around him is definitely real. And then you got Blackman coming back who, some people were looking at him as kind of that same position as he is now, as he could come into last season as potentially being that cornerback 2 on this team. And I do think that's kind of like the case again. It just sounds like Isaiah Rodgers at this point, and it seems like it's just his job to lose. Hopefully, I'm sure you'll see all 3 of them on the field a lot, but I guess that would be one, like, who gets the heads up, Blackman or Isaiah Rodgers? I do think that there is probably a real battle there. If Blackman just looks better than Rodgers, then, I assume Blackman will just get more field time.
Yeah. And then after that, it's really interesting. I mean, Jeff Okudah. I mean, that's a guy, and I know I was watching the Vikings put out a video today, and Alec Lewis was saying that there's a ton of people in the Vikings organization, they're saying they love what they've seen from Okudah so far. And again, number 3 overall pick by the Lions, expected to be kind of the next big thing at corner. Obviously didn't necessarily work out in that spot. And then you got Dwight McGlothern, a guy that we both liked a lot in undrafted free agency last year. And then, Alec Lewis mentioned again today is Amaya Bond, another name that's kind of been gaining some steam about a guy that could potentially, surprise some people this year, make the roster. Who knows how much playing time he gets, but a guy that's going to be in there for depth pieces. And then you do got to wonder, like, you get into camp, you get into preseason, if these guys don't look great and they're a little bit more concerned, then will they jump out into the free agent pool? Because there are still guys out there. Sante Samuel Jr., I don't think he's been signed anywhere yet, from what I know. So again, it'll be interesting to see if they feel good enough about their depth at those spots to where they're good just sticking with the guys they already have on the roster, because they did pass up on, and it didn't even sound like they were interested in the likes of a Jalen Ramsey trade or going after a guy like Jair Alexander. So I mean, that's what's exciting. I mean, again, you got the starters, which is interesting, but even just the depth pieces, a lot of unknown guys, but a lot of guys that you're hearing good things about and you've seen good things from. So for me, that's the main position on the defense that I'm really watching. Because outside of that, everything else is kind of set in stone in my mind. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for corner, and that's why it excites me so much. It's a bunch of guys that haven't really proven a lot, and you could even say that about Byron Murphy. He's the guy that has shown the most. But I mean, I know you still have your questions about if he's going to come in here and be a legit cornerback one, and those questions are fair with how up and down he was early on last year. Figured out near the end of the year, but yeah, corner to me is really it's exciting because it's unknown, but there's a ton of talent there. Yes.
Yeah. And I like it, dude. Like, that's what, like, with all this talent, I like to bring in a guy like Okudah, who's like, you didn't pick him to be your starting cornerback, but you're taking a chance on a guy because you have like the depth to be able to do that. Tons of depth there. So, and then obviously what we like in Nudie and Black, like, that's going to be a fun group just because we get to see what else we have in Nudie. We get to see what we saw from Blackman his rookie year and to see how he plays coming back. And then obviously we talked about the hype around Isaiah Rodgers, all this stuff. So it's just going to be a really exciting group to kind of pay attention to. And hopefully some guys really stick up, because if that's the case, like, you feel like there's no other chink in this armor in the defense. Like, if you end up having a really good secondary, you're feeling pretty damn good.
Right. But then plus, I mean, even with, what some people might call a weak secondary, getting two guys up front in Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave who can get after the quarterback when healthy, as we talked about last year. Our cornerbacks were tested too much because we just could not get pressure, and they got to cover it for 5 seconds, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, I don't care what defense you're on. I don't care how good of a corner you are. If you got to cover for that long, receivers will find a way to get open. Good quarterbacks will hit them. So I think that in tandem with the corners that we have is going to be absolutely huge. And this, I mean, I know we're still talking about camp battles, but this one kind of brings me up to an interesting point. There are always, sometimes you do get those interesting like contract extensions or contract restructures or what have you, kind of on the first day of camp when everybody does come back. This is one that I think we might see at some point early on here, because O'Neal, I think he's due $21 million each of the next 2 years, and none of it's guaranteed. So is there a chance that you do see an extension for O'Neal where they give him a little bit of a raise, spread some of that money out, work the cap a little bit differently, to kind of alleviate some of the cap pressure you're getting there? And again, he is only 29 years old. He has had some injuries in the past here, of course, but when he's healthy, he's one of the most steady right tackles that we've seen on this Vikings team for a long time. So I'm curious to see if there will be an extension that happens with Brian O'Neal before the first preseason game, maybe even tomorrow when everybody's back.
Another battle, potentially, safeties were a weird one because you would have thought there could have been a battle there, but I think it's set in stone as far as like it's Metellus, Theo Jackson, and Harrison Smith, and it's just going to be them three switching out and stuff like that. One other one, I guess, and it didn't really seem like a battle at all, but I know the guys with the Phil Mackey and Judd and all those, like there's like Score North. There was a video clip coming out today. I didn't look too much into it, but I believe they were talking about saying that they think they're one of the undrafted free agent guys from last year could outpace Dallas Turner in sacks this year.
I did see that.
Yeah. So I guess what is your opinion on that? Because that would mean, I mean, if you think that means that could be a potential battle as far as like that third pass rusher, defensive end, outside linebacker type of player, even though that doesn't make sense because Dallas Turner was that guy last year. I'd be very surprised, but based off my quick opinion, I guess it's just based off opportunity alone that I think Dallas Turner is going to get a lot of. It's hard for me to think any of those guys are going to pass him up in sacks this year.
Man, who was that guy that wasn't that Chaz Chambliss, was it?
I have no idea.
But I did see something where I saw it on Twitter. Like, no, we might actually get to it later, so I'm going to save my opinions on that. But no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll wait for later on that one.
Okay, cool. Let's keep on rolling here. Next, we've got roster bubbles. Any guys that you're thinking about that feel like, yeah, I guess. I mean, there's not a ton. But what are some guys that you think could just not make this team? One right away that's really obvious is probably Brian Asamoah.
Yes.
Who has looked good in special teams, but I have a feeling, I feel like we're not going to see him as a Viking by the 5th.
Ivan Pace, Blake Cashman, Eric Wilson, Kobe King. Those are my 4.
Yeah.
Again, like I think we talked about when we were talking about the linebackers. Yes, Asamoah had some big plays on special teams. He got a game ball for his play on special teams. Kevin O'Connell called him a blue chip special teamer. But also Eric Wilson is another guy coming over from the Packers. He's been here before, of course, too. He was really good on special teams as well. So you have more of a veteran presence. He can probably do more on the defense than Brian Asamoah could. So I do agree with you on that. I think that Asamoah is a guy who's in danger of getting cut. And then I just kind of look at that. I think someone even brought it up earlier, the defensive interior depth. I mean, Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Grenard, obviously, Harrison Phillips, obviously. Like, you look at a guy, kind of a fan favorite, 7th-round pick last year in Levi Drake Rodriguez. I think he's a guy that might be in danger of missing here. Because you do have Taki Taimani and Jalen Redmond, both guys I obviously like.
And Taki ain't going anywhere because we don't have anyone his size.
Exactly. I mean, then you got Hargrave, Grenard to get after the quarterback. I mean, maybe if LDR shows enough to, maybe think like, hey, this guy could be our potential like pass rushing guy in the middle once Hargrave and Jonathan Allen, something happens there. But I don't know. That's one to me. I'm thinking he might be a guy who's just like 7th-round pick, just kind of whatever at that point. So that's what I'm watching because there's a lot of excitement about him last year, and he just never, even in the preseason, never really showed much. I mean, he was still on the roster, obviously, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and you got and then I guess I love me some Bo Richter, and he's shown when he's on the field, he's shown nothing but kind of good things for the most part. But again, we talked Gabriel Murphy. I mean, you could also add him at this point last year. Gabriel Murphy's in the same kind of spot Andre Carter was, who ends up not making the team last offseason. And same with Bo Richter is kind of in a similar spot as Andrew Carter was. So I wouldn't be those guys could, if they don't show up in training camp, if they don't show up in preseason, which Bo Richter did last year, it could be an issue there.
Big obvious one, Ty Chandler. I do not think he makes a team.
No, nope. Ty Chandler. I do not think so either.
No, I think his stay is over. And then another one I'm really interested about. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's even like you want to talk about roster bubble, but behind JJ McCarthy at quarterback, I mean, what do you do there? I mean, you have Sam Howell, who has had some starts in this league. He's been okay, throwing a lot of interceptions, but he has some talent. I mean, he was drafted for a reason. You got Brett Rippon, who reports were out there that they really liked him last year. I even made the bet he'd be our backup, whatever. And then you have Max Busher, a guy that I was really excited about getting. I guess my question, depending on how he looks in preseason training camp, I don't think that you'd be in danger of losing him if you do cut him and end up getting him on your practice squad.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm excited about the future of Max Brosmer here as a long-term potential backup quarterback option.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about roster bubble, just who makes the team at quarterback behind JJ McCarthy? That's one that's really,
I think Sam Howell is a no-brainer. I think there's no way he doesn't.
Right. You made a trade for him, so yeah, for sure.
And he has the experience and stuff.
Right. So Rippon and Brosmer are the ones that I'm really like. If Brosmer really looks good throughout training camp and preseason, like,
hope so.
Like, what do you do there?
Speaking of that, I like that kid a lot because I don't know who he got interviewed by recently, but he was talking about JJ McCarthy and was just talking about how athletic JJ McCarthy was and stuff like that. But it was just super cool for him to, like, the way he was talking about JJ McCarthy was really cool for a guy who, is coming into the league and trying to make something of himself there. But he just seems like such a cool dude. And obviously, again, I'm with you. I would like to see him succeed. And, we get that dream of JJ McCarthy as our franchise quarterback. And then you just get
Brosmer overtakes JJ McCarthy. And we're like, what's happening?
We don't even talk. No, JJ McCarthy's him. We're not going down that path right now.
Anyway, but yeah, so I'm excited. I don't care to, when it comes to preseason, because obviously I don't think we're going to see a ton of JJ McCarthy. I don't care about watching Sam Howell. I don't care about watching Brett Rippon. I want to watch a lot of Max Brosmer. For some reason, I just want to see how he does in the NFL. Because the thing with him,
me too.
Athletic. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world. He's smart. He's got a quick release, and he can read defenses. And that's everything you saw with the Gophers in that offensive system. Like, he can manage a game well. So that's exactly what you get from long-term backup quarterback options in this league. So like, I really don't care about watching Howell or Rippon play because you kind of know what you're getting. I want to watch a lot of Max Brosmer this preseason.
Well, that's what's always fun about having a guy like that, because it's like you get to see a little bit of JJ McCarthy probably, and then it's like if you don't have another quarterback or a rookie or young guy, like we had Jaron Hall before that, it's kind of boring. But in this one, there's going to be that excitement around being able to watch Brosmer. So it's like you're going to, like, I think a lot of Viking fans and a lot of Minnesota fans are going to just be watching that game for that.
I don't know, Dane. It's just the offense. PJ Fleck's offense predicated on the run. When they finally let him get into it a little bit and throw the football around, like, he looked good enough. And again, long-term backup quarterback option, playing at a school like Minnesota where you're a run-first team. He managed that offense well. So I don't even – and because, I mean, that's the same thing that people are going to say about McCarthy. They're like, look at the stats. He's not – like, you got to watch him play on the field. And the way that Brosmer plays looks like a long-term backup quarterback option, which is just fine. A guy that if you need him to play can get in there, take some snaps, and manage a football game well. He's smart enough. He's got enough of an arm to get it done. He has enough athleticism. Again, not the most athletic guy in the world. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how he adjusts to the next level and to see if a lot of the stuff that he did well in college translates to the pros.
Vikings to 11-6. We're taking the Packers, but I respect it. Yeah, dude. No, I'm excited for all that. And yeah, not a ton of roster bubbles that are really like I'm like tied to or whatever, other than like the Bo Richters, LDR. Like those are guys I hope take a step. Well, Bo Richter, hopefully, like he's just an undrafted free agent guy that nobody was really talking about. And then he just made an impression last preseason and made the squad and things like that. So hopefully he just keeps doing what he's doing, and Gabriel Murphy has some hype around him. So I'm excited to see all of that, but let's keep on rolling here. So we're going to kind of do our award predictions. So this is something that has been going around on Twitter as well. So I just straight up took it. This is something people were doing for the Vikings. So I just took it. I'm just doing the same exact thing. So let's bring that up here. We haven't done this in a while. I'll have to figure out how we do this again.
Yeah, that ain't it.
All right.
There it is.
There it is. All right. So we're not going to do the Skol Gauntlet thing. We're not going to do time. We're just going to go through each one of these and give our opinions on our predictions this Viking seasons for MVP, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, the X Factor, the Skol Award, and then the Best Newcomer. I would say Best Newcomer that didn't come from the draft.
What is a Skol Award? What does that mean?
I'm guessing that's just a fan favorite.
Oh, okay.
Person.
Okay.
So I guess
I like it.
Yeah. Maybe someone who's like feels like they wear purple and gold.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
Do we need to spend a lot of time on MVP?
If I can go over the Packers case, you'll cut your grass, shovel your snow.
Gotta head all the way out to Colorado.
I mean, if Jamie, here's the deal: Vikings over this. Yeah, that's easy. I'll do that.
Yeah.
You might as well just go cut my grass right now.
I mean, MVP. Do we got to spend a lot of time there? I mean, it's Justin Jefferson. This team lives and dies by Justin Jefferson. I mean, again, proven. I think he proved the last couple of years he is quarterback proof. He can put up stats no matter who's throwing him the ball. I'm riding with Justin Jefferson. To me, that's easy.
I'm going with JJ McCarthy.
Ooh, okay.
I gotta go with McCarthy here. I mean, this is your
MVP,
quarterback.
Huh? Okay.
So
all right.
This is what I feel like. I feel like I think there's two options. He's gonna come in here and he has to be the MVP because this offense is just too talented, or he just kind of sucks. Or very mid, I guess, because I just don't see a situation where he comes in and he's actually plays well, where he doesn't end up being MVP. Because how? Like, unless Justin Jefferson, when you have Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, when you have that much talent, I'm like, that ball has to be fed around. This shouldn't be a situation where Justin Jefferson is just like the guy only, kind of like last year. Like last year, you probably still give it to Justin Jefferson, but it was close. Like Sam Darnold was pretty close on that. But I'm going to go JJ McCarthy. I think he steps up. I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Fame type of caliber, but I do think in his first season, hopefully, of course, but I do think like with just so much talent on this team, I do think you're going to end up giving it to the quarterback, because I think Jordan Addison's going to have a big year. I think just TJ Hawkinson's going to have a bounce back year. And I think Justin Jefferson's going to do Justin Jefferson type of things. But I think we're going to see a lot more well-rounded offense this year.
I like it.
In production-wise.
Rookie of the year. I mean,
I like that, Nick.
Again, okay. And again, a lot of stuff, like they liked him, obviously. Took him with 5th round pick. Kind of a tweener, can play all spots. I like that one. I mean, I'm just kind of, I mean, I realize I'm just kind of picking the obvious here, but I mean, you drafted a guard in the 1st round when you could have gone defense, you could have gone safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going Donovan Jackson. I mean, again, I mean, Dane called me out for going with Justin Jefferson's low-hanging fruit. I mean, it's low-hanging fruit, but it's obvious. I mean, to me, it has to be. You took him in the 1st round. A lot of people questioned if it was the right move. He needs to be a plug-and-play guy, so I'm going with that he's going to be a plug-and-play guy, start right away. And, I'm going Donovan Jackson.
I mean, you have to go Donovan Jackson. You know, you don't have a 2nd-round pick. Yeah, I know what you want it to be, and I really did like what Nick said about Ty Ingram Dawkins there. Like, he's a guy that we hope takes a step, because we still don't have the future at that position. So of course, has to give you someone has to give you shit facts. But of course, like, so you're rooting for Ty Ingram Dawkins, because if he can just be a gem, then all of a sudden you have a huge position of need the next couple of years figured out. And he does have a lot of upside. He was a 5-star recruit, all that kind of stuff. And I would really like to see him take that step. Will he get all the opportunity to? I don't know about that. I know another guy, we talked about him earlier, Ty Felton. He's a guy that, like, you want to kind of pick as your rookie of the year. You want him to step up. If he comes in and he ends up taking that wide receiver 3 spot, then it could be easy. Because if I'm taking, obviously, if Donovan Jackson plays really well, and unless he's playing like all pro level or something like that, and then you got like a rookie receiver coming in and he ends up taking the wide receiver 3 spot and he looks like really good future, like, you're going to lean towards a wide receiver when it comes to MVP, the same way you would lean towards quarterback. But
so Jackson is true. Less you hear his name, the better. If you hear his name, he's not having a good year.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, even though I'm saying all that stuff, like, I just think it's going to be, I'm not confident in those other guys. I'm going to take the low hanging fruit here, and go Donovan Jackson as well. Yeah, I think 1st round pick, maybe if you had another 2nd round pick or something like that. But you're talking about some guys that, you know, we kind of drafted, took kind of early on some of these players, but with upside. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. All right.
Offensive player of the year.
And this one, I have a couple guys. My runner up is going to be Aaron Jones. I like the way he played last year, and that's with having honestly too many snaps. I think he was dinged up a little bit last year. I think having Jordan Mason and a better offensive line is going to be huge for Aaron Jones. So I think Aaron Jones is going to have a good year this year, and I think he's really going to help this offense flow and help McCarthy get settled in. But I'm going to give my offensive player of the year to JJ McCarthy, because I do expect him to have a good year. I think he's going to show us a lot of the things that we want to see. I think he's going to help this offense score some points. So again, Aaron Jones, very close. I think he's going to be a huge help this year. But yeah, I'm going to go. I'll take JJ McCarthy as my offensive player of the year, since I put Jefferson as my MVP.
Perfect. And I was going to do the same thing. I mean, obviously, if you don't pick Justin Jefferson for MVP, you're an idiot for not putting him on offensive player of the year. You're talking about a guy who has won offensive player of the year in the NFL, right?
Who?
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In general. So he definitely,
yeah.
I believe so. At least once, right? Yeah. So Justin Jefferson, that's why it's the easy one. I'm going to pick MVP for JJ McCarthy, but you'd be, you'd be dumb for going any other route than that. So this is going to be an interesting one, I think.
Yeah. And are we just going to pick what kind of who our favorites were last year with just kind of pick opposite sides of the edges? Because I've seen a bunch of Jonathan Grenards.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, and again, my runner up here, I was going to show some love to Byron Murphy, and I think he's going to take that step and prove that he's worth the money that he got. Because one thing I will say about Byron Murphy, a lot of people do say, like, the interceptions, it was more of like, it wasn't really, him jumping routes or whatever, and just a lot of his interceptions looked easy. But I do think that there is something to say about right place, right time when it comes to corner. I think that's what he showed a lot last year. But I don't know, man. I just love what Jonathan Grenard brought to this defense last year. When he wasn't getting the sacks, he was still getting the pressures. He was affecting the quarterback. Obviously, really love what Andrew Van Ginkel did last year too. But I think Jonathan Grenard, man, he just has that little something extra, and he's still young. He's coming into his own here. I mean, 2 double-digit sack seasons in a row. Yeah, Jonathan Grenard is going to be my defensive player of the year.
Yeah. He's mine too. I think it's just I love Andrew Van Ginkel a lot, and I think Andrew Van Ginkel could just be as good as he was last year. But Grenard, like Van Ginkel, it felt like maybe there's a little bit of flukiness to it. Not that he didn't play that on the field, but he's just an older player, and it's just like you don't really see a guy who's 30 just break out like that and then have like all of a sudden he's just doing that every year at this age, right? Where Grenard's young, and you feel like he's going to be the one he's going to be like the Danielle Hunter, the guy that comes in and gets you 10 sacks no matter what this season. Right. Where Andrew Van Ginkel he had what 6 sacks or something like that is his most up until last season, and then he had 11 and a half. Which hey, I hope he still gets 10. But Grenard also, it's kind of the easy pick here. I could go Byron Murphy, I could go these guys, but I would say Grenard's the one that comes in, and you just feel more confident that he'll come in and produce the same way he did before. Obviously, you got Jonathan Allen now, you got Javon Hargrave now. And one of those guys could definitely do it. But again, you're talking about guys who are in their early 30s and things like that. So I don't really expect them to come out here and just be more of an impact than what you have in Jonathan Grenard, who obviously is super, super, super good and look great. And speaking about Jonathan Grenard, and hey, it'd be cool if Dallas Turner somehow like gets on the field more and he ends up being it or something like that. But speaking about Jonathan Grenard, I've been paying attention to the top 100 list, and I know Andrew Van Ginkel made it, which I'm like, there's so many other people on that list where I'm like, how the hell did they get picked even before Jonathan
Sam
Grenard?
Darnold was number 72, which I thought was kind of a little high, but still,
he
deserves to be on that list for sure.
But Grenard hasn't been called yet, so I'm assuming he will. Yeah,
and if he's not, so if he's not, that's an absolute travesty.
It would be. So I'm expecting him to be. But it'll be interesting to see where exactly he ends up going on there.
Yeah.
So I have to do it too. I mean, kind of boring, but like he just seems like that guy who's the one that is just going to be consistent every single year. For sure.
Yeah, and kind of, I mean, and Dane took mine for most improved, and I think this is going to be a big part of mine. Gink is more on the field. Grenard's a great pass rusher. My most improved player this year is going to be Dallas Turner. I mean, this is what I was saving it for earlier. I don't know, man. There's something just about, you watch how he played last year, had a sack his first game, had a sack against the Bears, had an interception, playing behind 2 guys in Grenard and Van Ginkel, who both you could say had career years at those positions. And here's the big thing why, Turner, it's less about a lack of talent as much as it was about learning the pro style game and opportunity and just what he's being asked to do. Because yes, Van Ginkel drops into coverage more, as we've seen with his 2 pick sixes and almost should have had at least 2 more interceptions.
Yeah, right.
They view Dallas Turner as being more of that type of player, an edge rusher guy who can drop back into coverage and do all these other things just because he is so athletic. So I think there was a steeper learning curve to his game as he kind of learned that first year. Then plus, as you heard Flores talk about, just, he said, I think near the end of the year, he said, I sat down with him, kind of talked about how he's learning things, how he's taking things in, how he's adjusting, like what he's doing, how he's adjusting to the pro game, and just kind of giving him some tips and advice on how he can take the next step. And we've seen the videos of what he's been doing this offseason. We've heard good things from the coaching staff and everything that. Unprompted, Kevin O'Connell, one of his press conferences, I think it was at the Combine, said, don't forget we have Dallas Turner here who is playing behind 2 really good guys, and he's going to pop and do some things this year. So for me, I'm really excited to see what Dallas Turner is going to do. I just think he's too athletic, too talented. And again, just like McCarthy, he's young. There's way too many good things with the way that this guy plays the game. And even in his limited snaps, he showed us a lot last year. So I think we're going to see and again, is it going to be double-digit sacks? Maybe not. But I think we're going to be hearing Dallas Turner's name a lot more this year, and I'm really excited to see how he adjusts. I think he's gonna have a really good year. So he's my easily far and away my most improved player.
And I mean, I gotta agree with you on this one. And again, I know these are the kind of easier ones, and I really like the Blackman one because because Big Raylan's right. He can only go up from not playing last year. But obviously, you're talking about a guy who's supposed to be so special. He won the SEC player or defensive player of the year coming out of college. People were thinking he was going to be defensive rookie of the year. He was a favorite to win defensive rookie of the year last year prior to the season. Like you said, he didn't have a chance to get on the field as much as we were hoping. I do think there was also, there was a learning curve playing in a Brian Flores defense and things like that. That definitely, I think, is part of it. But you did get to see him in coverage. He got an interception. You're hearing about his coverage in OTAs and minicamp, actually. On top of that, so you are getting a guy that like you just think is supposed to just be a pass rusher, but it sounds like he's been doing solid in coverage as well. And I do think we're going to see him on the field more. That's why it's crazy. I just can't imagine that any of the guys like Gabriel Murphy or Bo Richter, any of those guys are just even going to get, it doesn't necessarily mean that they can't be better than Dallas Turner, but I just don't think they're going to get the same opportunity as Dallas Turner is going to get this year. But because of all of that, having such high expectations, having a down season, and him hopefully meeting those expectations this year would be a massive jump for a guy that you drafted in the first round. So,
right. And no, Turner is technically classified as an edge rusher. But that is one thing. They did line him up at linebacker last year. So I think there may be some situations where, and we saw it a couple times last year, where you see Grenard, Van Ginkel, and Dallas Turner all out on the field at the same time. And that could be fun. Especially if you start to trust Turner a little bit more out there with Flores. And I think that's where we're kind of heading here.
So that's what, and this is, I would probably say this most improved comes, I think he will. I think he's really good. He's just so talented, but it's also, out of all of these ones so far, it's like comes with a lot of hope because he is so talented. He does. I mean, he's a freak. Ran a fucking 4.4 or whatever. Just insane. And then obviously didn't live up to the hype and first round pick, all those kind of things. You traded up for him, all those type of things. So you really want him to take that step forward. So some of that is want and hope and not just like me thinking that, but
outside of JJ McCarthy, I think like Dallas Turner is a guy he's probably the one I'm most excited to watch.
Probably. It's
kind of I just like what he brings to the table. I think he's, again, I think it was an adjustment year last year, and I mean,
he has the traits to be
guys that played really, really well.
Yeah, he has the traits to be an absolute game wrecker he has the traits to be the best defensive player in the league type of situation. So,
and it just needs to all translate. So most improved, we're both in agreement on Dallas Turner. So yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Every other Monday is best. Speaking of that, so this next Monday, I move this weekend and I'll be gone next Monday. So next Monday will be our last off week. And then after that, we're back every Monday. And then once season starts, we'll be back every Monday and Thursday. So just a heads up on that. But yeah, so pretty soon, Gary, we're going to be back every Monday again here.
I gotta get the hunt amped up for the next couple of weeks here so I can get that out of them. I'm kidding. But anyway, I guess moving on from most improved X Factor, five guys, one name, offensive line for me is the X Factor this year. And just because it comes into just so many different situations, right? I mean, you have a young quarterback who's going to need a little bit of extra time to be able to survey the field. You went out, you have Darrisaw. Hopefully, I think I saw Nick mentioned it earlier. So far, not on the PUP, which would be huge. But you have your bookends if they're both healthy with Darrisaw and O'Neal. You invested heavily in that interior, got rid of the last group, brought in a new one. First round pick Donovan Jackson, steady veteran Ryan Kelly, and Will Fry's top free agent guard on the market. Again, is it on paper? Great. We do we do need to kind of see it go onto the field, but in the fact of protecting your young quarterback, making it easy for him to survey the field, and just making it easier in the run game, in the low red goal line, short yardage, being able to get some push along the line and just get some more positive movement in the short to go run game and goal line run game. There's so many different things that offensive line is going to help make this offense better and make this offense go. So for me, the X factor is that entire offensive line. I mean, you got to, again, protect young quarterback, get some push in the run game. And that's what this offense was missing last year, was both of those things. And they addressed it. And to me, with that young quarterback, which is the most important part, make sure he feels comfortable sitting back in the pocket, surveying the field.
Yeah. Man, I really like that one. I think that offensive line is really, really good. I'm gonna go with my guy who unfortunately will probably get 3-game suspension, and that's Jordan Addison. I've said it a million times on this podcast. I think he's so special. I think he's more special, or like just more talented than even the average Viking fan understands. I think could be a legit wide receiver one somewhere else. I think he's that talented, and he's going into year 3 with JJ McCarthy, with a healthy TJ Hawkinson, with obviously Justin Jefferson. And I just do not. I just think even without a great offensive line, I just think you're talking about a guy that is going to kind of. I think this is good. I think he's going to take even another leap compared to what he did a year ago. And if he does that, I think that's going to open up this offense incredibly. I mean, you're talking Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison in year 3. And you can't cover everybody, and especially if the quarterback has time. So right. I do think, and there's already been throughout the one thing that's been apparent throughout last training camp, throughout this, whatever we've seen for off-field work this time, there's always something about JJ McCarthy's pass to Jordan Addison. JJ McCarthy's pass to Jordan Addison. Like all the little highlights, there's always a pass to Jordan Addison. So I do think that there is some chemistry there as well. Right. So that's where I got to go to. Jamie moving. Yeah, I'm taking over. I'm taking over that shit. Taking over it all.
This one's interesting. Over under 800 receiving yards for Addison. Let me see the suspension first. Let me see the suspension. If it's 3, God, he missed a few games last year and still.
Yeah, I'm taking over. I'm easily taking over with the 3-game suspensions. Without the 3 games, he clears 1,000.
I think so easily too. If it's 3 games, I'm gonna say under, just because. That's tough for me though. It's tough for me to say that, but it all depends on the suspension length. We'll see, but I mean, yeah. If it's 1 game, easy.
Oh, he went to the purple side, huh? Okay. But no, I got the over. If he's going to be my X factor, he's getting over 800 yards. And even with that 3-game suspension, I would not be surprised if he still breaks that 1K mark. I just think, I don't know. I think he's going to have a really big season. I'm super excited about him this year. And obviously the offensive line, it's just like everybody stats should be up. Stats should be up with that offensive line.
For sure. Wasn't 3,200 our number for a bet, or is it like 3,030? I thought 32 was our number.
Let's see what we did. It was around there, which I had over.
4,000.
I think it was 35. I think it was 35. Right. I feel like you would have. I feel like you wouldn't have went under 3,000.
I don't think I said that. No, I mean at 32 sounds like that was the right number.
No, I feel like you wouldn't say. I feel like you wouldn't have said under that. Or like you, because you went under, I went over.
Right. I could have. I mean, 32 sounds right, but
it just sounds so low. There's no way. Maybe though. We'll see. It could be. That's easy money for me.
Crazy, like 28. Like
it's $34.99. Okay, so about 3,500.
500. Okay, that's fair then.
That's a little bit more fair.
Yeah.
All right, keeping it rolling here with Skol Award. Who is going to be that guy for the Vikings?
I mean, this is a dumb answer because he could be every year. Probably the last ride. I'm going Harrison Smith.
Yeah,
I think Harrison Smith, man. I think he's gonna just kind of have that. Again, I don't think he's actually gonna say it because Harrison Smith is so low key. But I think it's.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
I think. Hey,
I feel like I should get MVP, but I'll take the Skol Award.
But yeah, I'm going Harrison Smith, man. I'm going Harrison Smith. You know what? My secret number 2 answer is gonna be Will Reichert because he's gonna be so on that Vikings fans get rid of the thinking they have a kicker curse. But no, I'll go Harrison Smith. Just give some love to the guy in his what's probably going to be his last season.
I know. I probably would have leaned towards CJ Ham, which I don't know like how much he has left. Hopefully a lot, but. You got the last, like Harrison Smith, the writing's on the wall. I'd be very surprised if he's back next season or anything like that. So it'd be crazy. You know, I'm not saying that he couldn't be, but you got to ride with Harrison Smith on his last year. Probably my favorite defensive player of all time in general. Vikings, everything.
Man, Blake Cashman could have been a sneaky one for, honestly, defensive player of the year too. I mean, again, he's not going to have the huge stats, but what that guy does when he plays is awesome. And Skol Award, being a Minnesota kid, I could see that as well.
Minnesota
kid. That's a good answer. I like that one. I didn't think about that.
I do like that one, but one little small thing, which I found out and lied about kind of on our video, but he grew up as a Packer fan. That's one thing I didn't want to bring it up. Sorry, Blake Cashman, if you somehow ever see this video. Blake Cashman grew up as a Packer fan, so that's one thing to keep in mind there. So that's why I gotta go with Harrison Smith. But yeah, I'm with you, Harrison Smith there. And then this one's going to be a fun one here.
Yeah, and it's non-drafted best newcomer.
Yeah, non-drafted, so it has to be a free agent.
For me, easy, Jonathan Allen. I mean, I love what we did along the offensive line. I love getting Will Fries. I mean, when he played last year, he was awesome.
That's crazy. Coming in here and talking lies, that's crazy.
But I do like the Jordan Mason one as well, because I do think he's gonna have a solid year too. But I'm going Jonathan Allen just because last year we know we were missing that push in the middle.
I don't.
Jonathan Allen, obviously, yes, the injury last year on the wrong side of third, get all of that. But when the guy's healthy, he's amazing. I mean, came back in that playoff game last year, and I think he got himself a sack as well. So I just think he's at a position we desperately needed help at. So yeah, mine's pretty easy. I'm going Jonathan Allen as best newcomer.
All right, we'll go to that one next, Gary, because that's an interesting one because, well, I know who we're gonna both want to pick for sure, but for a sec, well, maybe we have to pick two just to make things a little bit more interesting. Okay. Best newcomer. I'm gonna go. You said Jonathan Allen. Obviously, I love that, but I think you got both Jonathan Allen and you got Hargrave there. I feel like they're gonna split the duties pretty damn well. Maybe one doesn't like impress more than the other. They come in, they both play at least above average. And I'm gonna say the dude that we talked about with the hype. I know I love Blackman and I hope he comes back to at least form, but we talked about camp battles at that position, and I do think Isaiah Rodgers has been slept on hard. And I think he's not just that, but I think he's this year's Andrew Van Ginkel, as far as like you got someone for super cheap who is going to bring another, like something like everyone wants to talk about Kwesi's drafting without realizing the gems he gets in free agency. And I think Isaiah Rodgers is going to be that this year, and he's going to come in and end up being like, I wouldn't be surprised if could be wild, but I wouldn't be surprised if Isaiah Rodgers ends the season as the best cornerback on this team.
I could see it. I mean,
and that's more question. That's only because I still have questions about Byron Murphy, but still.
Isaiah Rodgers is still pretty.
But I do like that one too, Jordan Mason. But the reality is, at the end of the day, he's only on the field less than half the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's gonna be huge in short yardage and goal line stuff for sure.
Yeah,
and in the middle, he can still get the job done. But I don't know, man. Aaron Jones, I think Aaron Jones is gonna have a really good year too behind the better offensive line. So.
Yeah, true.
So
there's but Jordan Mason is it could be though.
Yeah,
I don't know. Good problems to have.
Special teams this year, huh?
So
I got a fun one. I got a fun one for special teams.
Wait, hold on a second. Prediction on our special teams highlights this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So highlights, not.
Well, I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be like what from special team is going to pop this year. Like, who's going to look good? I'm not going with that because I don't know who this player is going to be yet. But we have some guys with speed back there. We have potentially Rondell Moore. We have Ty Felton. For the first time since October 9th, 2016, the Vikings will have a punt return touchdown. It's been that long. Marcus Sherrills. I had a friend of mine who did not like Marcus Sherrills as a punt returner. Marcus Sherrills was the best punt returner this team's ever had. So, in my mind, first punt return since 2016. We're going to get that. We're going to punt return touchdown since 2016. We're going to get that done this year. I have a good feeling about that.
Angel does senior. Yeah, we do actually. We have these we sell these hats. $25.
I still have a couple left here.
Yep, and I have some too. So $25 if that's something you're interested in. I might as well just do this right now. Just hit us up on our email because we'll definitely get something up for you if you're interested. Sports
absolutely.
Central. Boom. Anyways, for me, obviously, I mean, Will Reichard's the obvious one. So we'll just pick someone else. That was a good one though. Punt returner. I think Silas Bolden. I think Silas Bolden, he ends up making this squad. I think he's going to come in, and I think he's going to be the punt returner over Ty Felton. And I think that he's going to score a touchdown like you, like you said. Like maybe Ty, I don't know what Ty Felton, did he do kick returns? But I know Silas Bolden, like he was had looked good from punt returners. So I'm going to say Silas Bolden is going to come in and be a sneaky special teamer.
Sneaky special team. Okay, interesting. Yeah.
That worked, right? That worked.
Yeah.
Wear my hoodie too. Oh yeah, we still have to get hoodies. We'll get those.
We have to do a lot of things, which actually now
we should probably bring that up.
Which actually now might be easier for us. The more I think about it.
You mean
we might have a better opportunity for that
if we work with those? Yeah. Gary knows.
We should look into that.
That's something we'll look into. We're for Skol Fest.
I didn't think about that.
Speaking of that, we might be kind of premature. We're gonna actually I might as well bring that up right now. So we kind of went through this. Let's go back to.
It's all right. Everything I do is premature.
Ooh. Wish I could act like it wasn't the same for me. Anyways, so Skol Fest. One interesting thing that we're working on, and it looks like it's coming to fruition, is for Skol Fest this year, we're making a deal with an apparel company, and they are going to set up shop in Skol Fest, and people are going to be able to buy Skol Fest gear and things right off of them. But what Casey was aiming for is we probably have a connection there as well as being able to just get other merch and go through them for some other stuff. Is that what you were going at?
Yeah, because we probably should have more than we do. But
it's just you just gotta
buy a bunch and then not be able to sell them all. But
yeah.
Speaking of which, just bringing this up now, we have 20 on YouTube. At least we have 27 people watching, only 13 likes. If you haven't hit like already, it's free, it's easy. Just hit the little.
And this is a free like because we aren't doing a giveaway.
Yeah, that's true.
We aren't doing a giveaway today. So a couple things for anybody.
As Jamie said, we're at I think 1,810 subscribers. We're on the road to 2,000. Once we do get to 2,000, we will do we don't know what yet, but we'll do a giveaway of some sort. So please make sure if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that for us because that would be awesome. I'll hit subscribe and we're getting close to 2K.
Yep.
And which is crazy. We've been doing this.
Let's go.
Did we pass our anniversary date already?
Jamie jamming seeds. No, I think that's at. Oh no, we're getting close. It's at the end of. We're getting close there.
Whenever our first video was posted.
But like Casey said, I'm moving the end of the week, so I'm just moving to a whole different state. Obviously, I already talked about it, but so no giveaway today, just because I'm not gonna have time to go bring that to the post office and all that. But like Casey said, 2,000, 2K, we're less than 200 away. I did want to bring up again, because he's talked about our journey up to this point. And then we talked about it to begin the show is the JJ McCarthy video that we made just past 50K, which we're super excited about because we didn't know we could make a video that would get, we already made one that got 20K, but we didn't think that was even going to happen. So we definitely didn't think it was even possible for us to make a video that made 50K, hit 50K. Also has 1,000 likes. So just new milestones that we didn't think was going to happen. So we're just really excited about that, which gave us some more subscribers, which got us excited about reaching 2,000, which is a big reason why I want to make sure our 2,000 follower or subscriber is going to be something special and definitely give back to everybody that has helped us. Get here. Yeah. We're talk about the fucking Vikings.
Yeah. Next Monday is actually our how many years? Yeah. 2021. So it'll be 4 years already. Next Monday.
4 years.
Nope.
Let's
July
go.
28th was our first.
Jamie always has so many flipping excuses. Skol, what's going on, Barber? Dude, I can't help it. There's a lot going on. Pretty soon, I don't even need them because I'll just be sitting in the same town for a while, hopefully. Can I quit and jump back at 2,000?
You don't need to be the 2,000 subscribers. Just once we hit 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah. We'll do a giveaway. We'll just do what we do for giveaways, but it will be bigger. It'll be more grand, What say, Jamie? Colorado. I know, Gary. I know. Colorado. My sister lives in Colorado. She's having a baby soon and stuff. So we're going to be living right next to her. And obviously we've been travel nursing stuff for the last 5 years. So I haven't been near anybody really throughout that time as far as like family and stuff like that. So it'd be cool to kind of settle down a little bit and take a second because we're moving around and have less excuses like Gary said. So no, I'm excited.
Instead of just having the tarp behind you, you can actually, or the poster behind you.
And we'll have something a little bit more like what Casey has behind him going, a little studio going, all that good stuff. Not having to travel. This will be like the last time I need to move across the country for a while. Hopefully. But Jamie Creep all hey, Jamie Creep all in the family. I ain't moving to Wisconsin, dude. I said Colorado. That's Wisconsin 101 right there. All you Packer fans out there. Sorry, Steve, even though you're not in Wisconsin. But yeah, no, excited for that. But anyways, Skol Fest. Again, let me drop this in here again. Now we're getting really around the corner here. September 13th, home opener weekend, the best party out there. Like I talked about, we're going to have apparel there. People will be able to go and buy their shit. It's going to be great.
And we have all the way through Sunday freaking night.
Yep. Oh, no. So Saturday, and this Skol Fest is going to be special because we don't have to wake up bright ass in the early to get to the stadium this year. So this one, there's going to be an after party for the after party. It's going to be crazy. So y'all definitely, if there's one to go to, it should be every single one, every single year, but it should definitely start with this year. And everybody in here, definitely go to our link and register there. Our guy, Adam, hooked us up with the website on here. So definitely go check that out. Some cool stuff there. Been to Boston, now Denver. Your next stop will be LA. I actually started in, I was like an hour. I went to San Diego. I lived in San Diego. That was like one of the first places that we went to, which San Diego is really nice, but I ain't going to LA, Boston. We were in Colorado another time too. Jamie, make sure all know that they need to brush up only trivia this year. Yeah. And definitely know your shit because Gary is going to be testing everybody. So that's why, like, even if you're a young buck, like some of these guys, like, you're going to have to brush up on your 60s and 70s. Shoot. I think he might even have some stuff going back to like the 40s and stuff for all I know. He probably has like the earliest of the earliest going on over there. Bo Nix is very tempting for what?
Oh, being a Vikings or being a Bronco fan, now you're going to be in Denver?
Oh, hell no. So it's actually really funny. Another thing I want to bring up, and actually I might have to bring up next time I'm going on here. So for my fantasy league, what we're all doing is how we're doing our picks. And it's funny if my cousin Ryan's still in here because he didn't want me to come on my podcast and be able to shout my own video out. But we all have to make a video. Simple. It has to be like a highlight based around football highlight, something like that with the title. And then we're throwing all of them on TikTok. And then whichever ones get the most views is how you pick your draft order or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And well, he snatched mine. So I literally took JJ McCarthy's touchdown from the preseason game to Tristan Jackson. And then I just posted it in our group chat. I didn't put the title on there. And then my cousin comes to me, takes a different JJ McCarthy highlight and says JJ McCarthy to win a Super Bowl, which is obviously something I would do because we literally have social proof on our own channel. Anyways, so I'm like, nah, he is in here too. So he screwed me over. As long as I can post my link in here. Well, links not, you're going to have to show up to every show. So Ryan, that's my cousin right there. So he's the one that screwed me and took my JJ McCarthy idea. So now I made one with Bo Nix throwing an interception, and the title is Why Bo Nix Actually Sucks. So that's going to be the one that
you're going to get a lot of angry Denver fans reading.
Yeah, that. I'm aiming towards anger and hate.
angry, hateful Denver fans and people that didn't like Bo Nix.
Facts. So you tell them. You tell Ryan a cheater stealing my shit. Killer autograph cards giveaway for people get trivia, right? Cards giveaway for people get trivia. I don't know about that. Killer Gary, unless you want to throw freaking $1,000 down. So, I mean, unless you got like a crazy answer, nobody can figure it out. Facts, Jamie. He's a certified. Yeah, see? Yeah, y'all know. Y'all know. You can't be just snatching my shit, taking my flow. That's crazy. Killer. But yeah, so we'll see what's up. So I probably will tell y'all to go just because I wasn't going to do it, but because Ryan's in here right now, I feel like I am going to bring my link in here and have y'all look at that so I can get that first pick. Yeah. Yeah. He's going to be a buzz. His ant card for 2000. You heard Jamie's giving away his ant card. We will be giving some good I'll give an auto on here of not ant, but someone. My camera just died on me.
Well, I mean, we've been on for almost an hour and a half anyway. Holy moly, long show tonight. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, last one before we really get into things, so it'd be a little longer. I had a lot to talk about.
Anyways, I'm off screen now, so yeah, we can probably call this one a show here.
Hold a wrap, baby. I guess we'll wrap. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. Enjoy the next couple of weeks. If any of you guys are headed out to training camp this week, starting this weekend, have fun there. Hopefully, you guys have a good time. I should probably get out there at some point because I live here, but I haven't yet. Dumb on me, but at some point I'll have to. But yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy the next couple of weeks, and then football's right around the corner. And once that hits, we're gonna be it's going to be busy. There's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot of things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. Have a great rest of your week. See you 2 weeks from today. And I think that's, you said every Monday after that, right?
Yep.
Sweet. So see you guys then. Have a great rest of your week.
Skol Vikes.